Good morning, everybody. It is Monday morning, and if it's Monday morning, it is Money Mondays. My name is Paul Johnson. I am the Director of Economic and Community Development here at GPCOG, and
I am Belinda Ray. I am the Director of Strategic Partnerships here at GPCOG.
today we have two grant opportunities to speak to you about. And I, like usual, will go first. This grant is not for municipalities or government entities, but rather it's a business-oriented grant. It is called the Local Food Promotion Program, and it is brought to you by could you hear my drummel? The USDA. Oh, did I put animation on this? Oh, okay.
Maybe.
That's my fault, though. So yes, the local food and promotion grant is to support the development, coordination, and expansion of direct producer to consumer marketing. So if it's producer to consumer marketing, it's typically pretty local and regional, right? For obvious reasons. Markets and enterprises and value-added agricultural products. Here in Maine, we have lots of value-added agricultural products, and of course, food to table is a very common way to do our local restaurants, farmers markets, all sorts of farmland out here in Cumberland County. So this is totally worth passing along to anybody you may have in your town. What are the grants and how much can they, or who is eligible, sorry, is the six entities before you are eligible. So you'll see it's not, like I said, it's not necessarily government agencies, save the tribal governments, but regional farmer market authorities, producer networks, food councils, agricultural businesses and cooperatives. We have all kinds of that in Cumberland County. And really the amount of the grants just vary for there's four types of grants you can go for. And they're here before you, but you'll see lots of them are marketing oriented or implementing a certain project or a plan, or something that you might have to actually recruit new talent, to train them, to get them into your, let's say if you ran a farmer's market or what have you. It's just some specific types of projects. All of these, again, are usually open-ended by design, but you could have a collaboration between different farmers markets that want to do a larger event that is held somewhere. And you could use this grant to organize that event and promote that event. Or if there are some synergies in town that you have two different agricultural councils that haven't been talking to each other, and you as an economic development director see an opportunity to maybe do a larger cooperative project where perhaps they're hosting each other, or you're going to the town next to you and doing something larger, or if there's restaurants that have an opportunity to do more farm to market offerings. Those are all examples here. So they're broad by design because you can be in any one of these. If you look at these four project types, it's kind of like the four stages of business, so to speak. You could just be planning, you could be stuck in planning and you wanted to get this off the ground, but you didn't have the money. It could be something that's ready to go and you would like a little bit of money. So I encourage you to check out the link in the next slide, which is, I don't know why I just like to rotate the text, Belinda. It just gives it a little pizzazz. There's a link in the next slide that gives you the official notice of funds available. And again, I think this area would be ripe for a project like this. It's pretty similar, if anybody, when GPCOG ran our domestic trade grant program, a lot of the projects could be overlapping. Agricultural businesses were essentially one of our qualified businesses, and it was very a marketing-based, expansion-based grant program. After reading this NOFO, it looks very similar to that. So if you had anybody in your area that applied for the domestic trade grant and they kind of know the deal, so to speak, by me reading this NOFO, it really seems to transition nicely to that same work. So if it's something people are familiar with, they might be able to turn over that project they applied and maybe roll it right into this for the next stage. And with that, Belinda, I will kick it to you.
Awesome. Boom, 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 boom. I love that. Unauthorized. This is the unauthorized logo for GOPIF, unasked for, unsolicited, unauthorized. But that's just what that name makes me think of. So governor's office. Oh, yeah.
They get pretty sensitive about that. So that's a good disclaimer. You got to make sure with the governor's office that you disclaim it.
I'm guessing they don't even know about it. I haven't told them. Yeah, Governor's Office of Policy Innovation in the Future. And they have their next round of community action grants. This is the 6th round, so people are probably pretty familiar. There are a few small changes, but these grants essentially provide money to communities to implement activities that support Maine Won't Wait, and they're linked to the strategies of Maine Won't Wait. If you have enrolled in the Community Resilience Partnership, you are eligible. And I think all but maybe Sebago in our region are enrolled. But even if you're not enrolled, they accept enrollment and action grant applications at the same time. So if you are not enrolled, don't let that stop you. You can get enrolled and apply all at the same time. But you do have to be enrolled to have this money be accessible. You can apply as a single municipality or as 2 or more working together. School districts, water, sewer, neighborhood organizations, and everything cannot be lead applicants, but they can be partners with a lead applicant. So if you did want to work with someone, the town can be the lead applicant and those people can be brought in. You can see all of the, in the map here, all of the, they should have gone for a third color that is also not green, but all of the first blue and green are enrolled either as direct partners or through a service provider. And then those lighter green are people that got these awards in 2025. If you do want to apply, you can only participate in one application. Service providers can apply on behalf of communities. GPCOG is a service provider. If you felt like you're having difficulty putting something together, we could help you apply as the lead applicant. It's possible we might put something in. I'm not sure if we're putting something in, organizing a bunch. That would be up to our sustainability director, who I will reference later in the presentation here. And one other thing, even if you have a previous community action grant, you can still apply, just not for the same thing. So there are 2 buckets here. You can apply to do something that is tied directly to the list of community actions. And those are the things that are divided into the categories associated with the strategies in Maine Won't Wait. There are particular actions under each strategy. If you want to do one of those, that is strategy 1 here. You can also kind of, choose your own adventure, create your own proposal if it's not on that list or can't be reasonably associated with something that's on that list. You can still do that. That is okay. The difference is if you do one that is not on the list, there is a cost share between 10 and 20% of the project total, and that depends on your community size and the valuation. If you do something from the list, no cost share. So that's kind of an incentive to really look and see if you can do something that's there. When you look at the list, you will see it is divided. I think it's A through F right now. We did have F, we did have G, H. It might go up to G. The update eliminated a letter and there are fewer letters now, but each strategy is listed, and under each strategy, multiple actions that can be taken. So these are just 2 examples, and I don't even have everything that's listed under both of them there, but just so you get an idea. Past winners from our region, you can see we've done very well here. And you can also see how many awards and how much money they have been giving out each year. And last year was the biggest. There was 7.3 million to go around. So that's, that is 3 times what had been available in previous rounds. And there were 96 awards to 108 different communities. You see some familiar friends up here. You can certainly talk to anyone in these communities and see what they put in and what they wrote and will they help you. You can get the full list of winners through that link at the bottom. And we'll just go through the features. So the minimum you can ask for here is 5,000. If you are applying on your own, one community, the max you can ask for is 75,000. If you go in with another community, 175,000. So 2 or more communities, a little bit more money. If you, again, do something from the list of community actions, there's no cost share. And then here's how it's divided out. There are 2 tiers. If you are a community with fewer than 10,000 people or a state tax assessment of less than 25 million, it's a 10% cost share and 20% for everyone else. Probability, I don't think you can actually figure out the probability from the amount of information I've given you here, but it gives you a good idea. Again, there's 7.3 million available last year, resulted in 96 winning applications. So there's 4.7 million available this year. We can probably expect around 60 awards. Difficulty, it's a level 3. The application is a template. You download a Word document, and it has both all of the information and then the application is in there as well. It's straightforward. The budget's not complicated. And again, GPCOG can be of help if you need some assistance. The deadline to get this in is August 29th. And they've already kind of given us a heads up that they think the next round, there will be a round 7, will probably be May of 2026. So if you don't do it now, you'd have to wait until May of 2026 to apply again. There is our lovely Director of Sustainability. And if you want GPCOG's help with your application or help coming up with ideas, she is the person to reach out to. She and her staff are incredibly knowledgeable on this front, have helped write many a successful grant, and can be of great service to you. I've also got the website. There's a story map. The story map's really cool. You can go through and you can see there's a map of the state, and you can click on the different grants year by year, and it will tell you the town and also what they did. So that's a great resource. There is an informational webinar on the 12th, which would be Thursday. So you can register for that and get more information. We've got the list of community actions. Ashley Krulik at the state is the person running this program. So if you have questions, you definitely want to reach out to her. And they are accepting questions. I don't think I put that in here. I think until August 8th. Did I have that? There is a deadline for questions. I think it's August 8th. It might be earlier. So you want to check that in the NOFO. Make sure you read through. And if you have questions, get them in early. And that, my friends, is what I have for today. So we are good to go. I don't have another Mr. Rogers.
No, me either. But I will remind everybody from last week, I believe, I do have some funding for the first half of this next 6 months to do technical assistance. So I can't write the USDA grant for a private business, but if you wanted to pass it along and didn't necessarily want to do any sort of technical assistance, feel free to loop me in or send somebody to me, and I will at least go through the NOFO with them. Or if they've never done a process like that, I'm happy to assist. We have funding to do it, and I'm glad to do it. So if you want to pass along the information on the first grant and then feel like you want to hand them off to somebody that will pay attention to them, I am glad to play that role. So
excellent. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Have a great week, and we will see you next Monday. Bye.